record it. There we go. So hello to the Costa Rica Adventure team heading out in February. So my name is Millie. I might have spoken to a few of you before, but I am in charge of planning your itinerary with Alice, getting you out there and onward traveling if you want, but most importantly, getting you back all in one piece. So the purpose of today is to run through, is to get you prepared so that you feel confident with the plan that we have planned for you. You can pack, you've got your flights, you know what to do with your money, arrival, everything. So I know there's only the lovely two of you now watching this. But as we go through, please ask questions, okay? So that we are fully organized. Right, so let's start off with your flights, okay? So you are all, regardless, I'm just getting my flight itinerary up, regardless, hold on, the adventure, you are on a complete mix of flights. I can see, and that's absolutely fine. You've got United going via Germany, France, America, Spain. Yep, I can honestly say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you going on United. Okay, I will send you, that is, well, the overriding message is, whatever flight you're on, you will arrive the other end and be picked up at arrivals. So you go through the big doors into kind of like a holding bay. It's outside with a kind of covered awning, and look out for the driver who will have the leap sign. Okay. He or she will then take you to the Rosa of America for your first night, where all of you will congregate. Okay, that's the point of congregation, not at the airport because you're all coming on different flights. But for those that are on United, I will just highlight so you can maybe start a WhatsApp group and, meet each other airside before your flight. Okay, that would be a nice thing to do. So that is easy. For immigration, I want you to have at the ready proof of your flight or bus ticket, whatever it is, to leave Costa Rica. That is absolutely vital. They might not ask for it, but if you get that mean person at immigration that just wants to tick every box that he has to tick, just have proof of it. Because if you don't have proof, they will not let you in. They'll turn you around and pop you on a flight out. It's been done before, so don't be that person. Have that at the ready. Everything else going through, if you're going through America, you need your ESTA. If you're going through Canada, you need your Canadian visa. But everybody else going through Spain, Germany, that's super easy. You don't need anything fancy. Okay. Your itinerary, let's run through the fun part. Now, I sent it to you the other day, and since sending it to you, I've been chatting to everybody overseas, and we've got an idea which I'm going to run past you, which I think you'll like. So starting off with the plan, okay? The first phase is going to be in Quepos, which is your community phase. So you'll have your first night in Santa Teresa. Following morning, you'll drive down 2 hours to the finca, to Quepos, where you'll be based. This is where you do a combination of working in the community, in the kids center, which is down in the fishing village, right on the beach. It's utter heaven. You do a combination of working there with exploring Manuel Antonio National Park, which is world famous. It's stunning. You do lots of kind of treks through there, waterfalls. It's absolutely beautiful. But also there are outside the park, outside near the finca where you live, there's amazing sunrise hikes, to get a feel for the landscape and your new environment. So that is what phase one is. Top tip with phase one is the project that we've got planned for the first 3 months of this year at the community centre is to give it a lick of paint. It's looking tired and a bit kind of depressing. So the aim is to spruce it up. So the first lot have started this week. We'll see how they're getting on. And then you'll take over where they've left off. And so, you know, that's our plan. But meanwhile that you're doing that, there's loads to do. Playing with the kids, teaching, playing football on the beach with them. And what they absolutely love is if you've got little things to take, old nail varnishes, face paints, pens, any kind of activity-based stuff that you think would be great, because this is an after-school club. Well, it's not actually an after-school club. It's where kids get deposited during the day while their parents go and work. And it's community run. And the kids, once a month, 1 week of that, have the leapers to stay. It's the highlight of their month. Let me tell you, they so look forward to it. And they'll be straight in your rucksack seeing what you've bought and what activity they can do with you. So have a think about that. Makeup's great, hair toggles. It's especially the girls that just love it. So just have a riddle in your drawers at home and just think, you know, stuff that you want to get rid of. Okay, so that is the community phase. Then you're going to go to Natura. Now this is your tough phase. Okay, so once you all brace yourself this, you'll have to psych yourself up. It's going to be hot, it's going to be sweaty, you're in the middle of the jungle, and it is hard work. So you go from a nice finca with a swimming pool, to tough. In the wildlife centre, getting up at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning to feed all the animals. It's hot and steamy. I've been there myself. I sweated continually while I was there. The accommodation is basic. Well, you're all in kind of bunk bed style, but it's a real experience. You get to see up close and personal all this amazing wildlife, but the birds, that is what I took home from it. They are amazing, so noisy. So if you are really noise sensitive, take some earplugs, otherwise you really won't get a wink of sleep, because the birds, they non-stop chatter and screeching through the night. But the project that you'll be doing there, you're all in charge of feeding the animals morning and evening, and then during the day there'll be some development project. We never know what that is until literally a few days before you arrive, because it's a continuous maintenance thing going on. It can be moving. One group have made an enclosure bigger, dug out, you know, cleaned up a kind of water bath for one of the animals. So you never know, but it's real stuff that needs to be done. It's a government-run wildlife centre that it only exists because of volunteers like you. Okay, without the volunteers, like through COVID, they had to close and put all the animals down. So you will see they are so grateful for the leapers and other volunteers that come their way. So you'll love that. And at the end, you'll give each other a high five, think, yeah, it was tough, but we did it. From there, you have got your beach and turtle conservation phase. Now, we are just discussing at the moment, right now, all the adventure teams go to Samara Beach and they go to Asvo to do the turtle conservation. Now, we know that will be a group of 13 that go out. You're all girls, randomly. How's that happened? I don't know. But we're thinking that we might not, what we'd like to do is take you to Santa Teresa instead, which is where our big camp is. There should be other leapers there, and there's other volunteers there. So it just might mix it up a bit. So you'll do exactly what you're going to do at Samara, but in Santa Teresa in a bigger camp environment. So it's really social. And you'll do your surfing there, you'll do your yoga. And as a special treat, we're going to upgrade you to go to Cirenas, which is the private turtle sanctuary, which is really beautiful. So I hope you're all happy with that change. Let me tell you, it is an upgrade. So just go with it. You won't regret it. So that is the plan. Then at the end, you're going to leave, and then you're going to go to Monteverde for the cloud forest experience. So every day in the cloud forest, this is where you're going to be. It's kind of cooler. So you might be thinking, whew, this is where you might need a jumper. But it's absolutely stunning. Every morning, you'll have an activity planned for you, an adventure, whether that's trekking through the jungle, doing the high bridges tour with a guide, doing these beautiful sunrise hikes or sunset hikes. There's loads to do. But every afternoon, you're going to have free time, bearing in mind that you've had very little free time until now. In this free time, most people choose to do the zip wire activity and or the bungee jump activity. One thing about the bungee jump that I want you to all note is I need you to confirm, if you want to do the bungee jump, that your insurance covers a bungee jump. Now, if you've taken the Campbell Irvine insurance, I know it covers it, so you're absolutely fine. But if you've got some home insurance or some other random insurance, please will you double check. If you haven't, give me a shout, or just log this, sportsdirectinsurance.com. Okay, and they can insure you per activity for any particular day, and it costs about 15 quid a day. So you can do that closer to the time when you've made your decision and you know what date you're going to do. Okay, that's a good insurance backup if your main travel insurance doesn't cover the bungee. Okay, hope that makes sense. Could have repeated myself a few times. And then from there, you'll go back to San Jose for your flight on home, wherever you want to go. Okay, so Grace, Abby, and Lucia, any questions from you on that itinerary, the flow of events? No? All good? Okay, what we're going to cover now is what's included and costs. Okay, so brace yourself, telling you straight up, Costa Rica is expensive. So you have to budget and make sensible choices. Okay, Santa Teresa, the beach phase, for example, it's like the Ibiza of Costa Rica. It's got swanky houses, swanky restaurants. George Clooney's got a house there and all his friends. You know, it really is Uber. And so you can go to sushi bars and spend $50 on a plate of sushi and $20 on a cocktail. Now, those are the places you're not going to go to. Okay, you're going to go to the more low-key restaurants. You'll be guided when you're there, but you have to be sensible. Okay, so starting from the top, when you're in when you're at doing the community phase, first phase, okay, all meals are included apart from 2 suppers. Okay, because it's really fun when you're down at the community center working late, then you all go and have a pizza locally. Okay, when you're in the wildlife center, all food included. When you're at Santa Teresa, breakfast and lunch is included, but supper is out and about. And that is when you have to make smart choices. I don't want you joining George Clooney in his Uber restaurants. Okay, then when you're at the Turtle Sanctuary, all food is included. When you're in Monteverde, breakfast and lunch is included, supper is not. Now, in Monteverde, I highly, highly recommend that you don't go to it's one of the, Monteverde, where you stay, is one of those touristy places. You know, it's like the center. It's like a ski resort. You know, it's like everyone stays in the same place. Now, some of the restaurants are really tacky. It's just like, oh God, you know, they've got a kind of theme to them. Ask your guide to take you to the sodas, SODA. They're really fun. Okay, you might be eating pinto and beans to your heart's content, that's a local food, but they're really fun. They bring out all their kind of locally made drinks and delicious food, and they're so much cheaper and really authentic, but they are off the main drag. So ask your guide where you're going to go, where to go. Okay, so that is your the extra meals that you've got to budget for. It's all in the itinerary that I sent you, but I'm going to update the itinerary to put Santa Teresa and Cirenas in it, changing your beach and turtle phase. And I will upload that into your MyLeap area. Okay, other things to budget for, as a heads up, there are 3 big ticket items which people do. One is a zip wire, which is anything, it was last year $60. It could easily, with inflation and everything, gone up to about 65, 70. The bungee jump is anything between $70 and $80. And there's an island tour, which when you're in Natura, you have a chance to do, kind of nip out for the day and do this island tour, Tortuga Island Tour. And you go on a boat and you go to these islands, whale watching, dolphin spotting, amazing snorkeling, and everyone loves that. Now that's about $70. Those are the 3 big ticket. But of course, when you're in Monteverde, you can go horse riding, you can go coffee tours, but you don't need to, but unless you really want to. Okay. Other money that you'll need is when you're moving from A to B, you know, from phase to phase. It'd be, I don't know, they never know what time lunch is, so you might just be getting snacks on the way, you know, stopping off at little cafes and little random places. So that's, you know, you'll need cash for that. Okie dokes. So where to get, what money to take out? I recommend everyone takes out $100 in cash, and you keep that in your back pocket, or tucked in your rucksack, not in your back pocket, for a rainy day as an emergency. But you're going to get the local currency out from the ATMs when you're there. Okie dokes. You want to get used to paying in local currency, because if you start paying in dollars, then they give you local currency in change, and then you get into all sorts of trouble unless you're really good at maths. I'm hopeless at maths, and that's where I always get ripped off. So, you know, pay with the local currency so you can keep a tab on, you know, tips and what they're, you know, in what they overcharge you. Cards. Take a Revolut Starling. The Monzo doesn't work that well in Costa Rica. Weirdly, it works throughout the rest of Central South America. So if you've got one, take it, but just know that it can be quite unpredictable whether it's going to work at each ATM. So always take a debit card as well. So everyone is to take 2 bank cards. One you have squirreled away for, you know, just in case, and one is what you take out and about. Okay. Any questions on the money? No?
Do they take like card payments in restaurants and shops and places?
A few do, but don't rely on swanky Apple Pay and things like that. But they take card payments in restaurants with a physical card, less and less so on when you just put your telephone across. That's why a physical card is really important. Right, telephones, SIM cards and Wi-Fi. Okay, telephones, please all take 2 telephones. You're going to think, really? Seriously? Yes, seriously, because you'll be amazed how many people drop a phone, get a phone nicked, smash a phone, you name it, it can happen. And buying a phone out in Costa Rica will cost you about $1,000. So take 2 phones. Just one that you've got stuffed in the kitchen drawer, just pop it in your rucksack. It is very easy to get local SIM cards out there. You'll be shown in the first couple of days, super easy. But there's also Wi-Fi everywhere, apart from at the finca, there is Wi-Fi, but it's sketchy, so it's unreliable. But when you get to the Rose of America, you'll be able to send home a text saying you've arrived. Let me tell you, that's always a really nice thing to do. As a mother myself, always useful to know. So the finca, it's sketchy, but when you're in the restaurants, easy to send texts and WhatsApps, etc. The wildlife center, no Wi-Fi. But Santa Teresa, Cirenas, no Wi-Fi. Monteverde, yes, lots of Wi-Fi. Okie dokes. Kit. What are you going to take? So please, please look at the kit list in your My Leap area. Everything on there is there for a reason. So don't think, oh, I can't be bothered to take that. Please take it. You know, you won't regret it. When it comes to shoes, everyone's favorite topic of conversation is the shoe of choice last year was you take your nice trainers, which I know you keep for nice, go out in the evenings. You take a hideous old knackered pair of trainers, which you don't mind trekking in, getting wet, full intention, they're not coming home. And then you take a pair of kind of beachish shoes, like a pair of those plastic Birkenstocks or a pair of Crocs. I know, Crocs, ugliest shoes in the world. But last year, everyone took a pair and they were very proud of their Crocs. They thought they were super practical and they were a winner. So I would highly recommend a pair of Crocs, or if you want to be a little bit more stylish, the 2-strap plastic Birkenstocks. They're a winner. Okay. The post to Costa Rica is hopeless. So I'm telling you now, there is no post. Therefore, do not forget anything. Okay. If have any medication, you put that in your day rucksack. You do not put it in your main luggage, just in case your main luggage went astray, yeah, and got lost. So you need all medication on you, on your day rucksack, traveling out to Costa Rica. Okay. While we're on the personal admin and health, please let us know anything weird and wonderful that you think we should know. In the past, people have arrived and then told our project leaders that they have a severe nut allergy. Not helpful. We need to know this stuff before you arrive. But anything when it comes to diet, physical health, mental health, just share it with us. It's all we're very discreet. It's all completely private, but we can just manage it behind the scenes to make sure that you have the best time possible. Okay, while you're out there. Health and safety, in each phase, you will be with your team leaders who will guide you and tell you what's good, what's bad, what to be, aware of. For example, in the wildlife sanctuary, really sensible, don't put your finger through the cage into a monkey cage like one of the boys did last year. I mean, and he wondered why he lost his finger. I mean, seriously, what an idiot. So you've got to listen to the advice from the team leaders because they've seen it all before and they're telling you it for a reason. Okay, so please, no fingers in the monkey cage. It was funny, but it's funny now, but it really wasn't funny at the time. So, listen to them. Kind of drunken, disorderly behavior. We want you to have a few drinks in the evening, work hard, play hard, have a good time. But what we really don't stand for is getting absolutely plastered so your legs collapse, vomit everywhere, and ruin it for everyone else. We've also seen that before, and it's tiresome. So if kind of drunken, disorderly behavior gets out of control, I know I sound like an old lady, don't I? But I'm just telling you how it is. Then you will get a verbal warning in country. You'll then get the email from me saying, we're bored of this behavior, wind your neck in, or next time you do it, you're off the program. So that's how it works. Rather school-esque, but which we hate. But there's always one or two every year that decide that this is their chance to become alcoholics and ruin it for everyone else. So they don't be that person. Okie dokie. Laundry with your clothes. I would advise wash your underwear in the shower and hang it out to dry every day. Every day, keep on top of that. And then with your shirts and t-shirts, in every place there'll be a laundrette. You can just give a bundle for about $10 and job done. Okay, so don't worry about your laundry. That will be done as you go through. Okay, so that is all from me. Any questions from you guys?
Do we have like the same guide the whole way through?
Yes.
Oh, right. When do we like meet them?
You meet them at the Rosa of America. So they are there. It's either, I think it's going to be either Kira or Val. I'm never too sure which one it's going to be, but they've done it. They've run our adventure program for the last 2 years. So they're young and gorgeous. So you have a young person, and then you have the kind of old and bold who, you know, kind of in the background, kind of for health and safety. And then in every area, you have the local guides who are specialists in that zone.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
You have one person that's with you throughout. Anything else?
With the SIM cards, so do we have to get one out there? We can't use our normal SIM cards.
No,
Or...
you'll get a local SIM card out there.
Okay.
So just make sure your telephone and your backup burner phone is open so you can exchange them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure. I'm just checking, just thinking. Alice, is there anything you need from them?
Which team is that?
Adventure Feb. Alice is just checking who's been good with their admin.
A few passport numbers from people.
Okay, we need a few passport numbers from you. So if you haven't sent us a passport number, please send us that. Okie dokes. Right, well, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a great time. And I know you will. And if you've got any kind of questions pre-departure, give us a call, but not today because the phones are down. But give us a call, email us, and we'll get you organized. Okie dokes. All right. Goodbye, team.
Thank you, bye.
Pleasure.
Bye. Thank you.